Imagine this for a moment. What if America isn't missing from Bible prophecy at all? What if it's hiding in plain sight? Woven into symbols so subtle that most readers pass right over them without ever realizing what they're seeing? Before we go any further, pause right now and do 3 quick things, like this video, subscribe to Eternal Signs Network if you haven't already, and share this with someone who's been asking the same question you're asking. And in the comments, tell me exactly where you're watching from and the time you're watching, because what we're about to uncover may completely change how you see America's future. In part 1, we explored the uncomfortable silence surrounding America in end times prophecy, and why Scripture never mentions the United States by name. But tonight, we go deeper, much deeper into the possibility that America may still appear in prophecy, not as a headline nation, but as a shadow, a symbol, a power that fades, transforms, or is absorbed into something else before the final pages of history unfold. Think about this. The Bible names ancient empires like Babylon, Persia, Greece, and Rome, because those were the dominant powers of their day. Yet prophecy is not written like a modern history book. It doesn't say United States, Russia, or China. Instead, it uses patterns, beasts, metals, winds, horns, merchants, and cities to describe powers, systems, and influences. So the real question is not why isn't America named, but what role does America play before the final empire rises? And this is where many people get uncomfortable, because Scripture consistently shows that human empires do not last. They rise, dominate, decline, and then give way to something else. No exceptions. One of the most compelling clues comes from the book of Revelation, chapter 18, where a mysterious entity called Babylon the Great collapses in a single hour. This is not ancient Babylon, it's something far richer, far more global, far more influential. The merchants of the earth weep over her destruction because no one buys their cargo any more gold, silver, precious stones, fine linen, oil, wheat, livestock, and even the souls of men. This is a commercial superpower, a consumer-driven system that enriches the world and then suddenly falls. Ask yourself honestly, which modern nation fits that description better than any other? A nation whose currency dominates global trade, whose consumption fuels entire economies, whose culture, technology, and products flood the world? Revelation doesn't name America, but the profile is unsettlingly familiar. And then there's the speed of Babylon's fall. In 1 hour, Scripture says, your judgment has come. This is not a slow decline over centuries. This is sudden, shocking, catastrophic. The kind of collapse that leaves the world stunned and scrambling. Now think about how interconnected the modern world is, and how vulnerable global systems are to financial collapse, cyber warfare, internal division, or sudden judgment. The Bible repeatedly warns that pride precedes destruction, and that nations who exalt themselves eventually fall. Could America's absence in the final chapters of prophecy be because it collapses before the Antichrist as kingdom fully emerges? Another angle many overlook is Ezekiel 38, where a coalition of nations comes against Israel in the last days. Among the nations listed are Sheba, Dedan, and the merchants of Tarshish with their young lions who merely protest the invasion rather than stop it. They ask, have you come to take spoil? But they do not intervene militarily. Many scholars have long debated who these merchants and young lions represent. Tarshish is associated with maritime trade, distant lands, and wealth. Some suggest that modern Western trading powers fit this description. If so, this could imply a weakened America still present, still watching, still trading, but no longer the dominant global enforcer it once was. A nation that can protest, but not prevent. Speak, but not stop. And then there's Daniel's vision of the statue made of gold, silver, bronze, iron, and clay. Each kingdom becomes progressively less unified, more brittle, more divided. The final stage, the feet of iron mixed with clay, is strong and weak at the same time, unable to fully hold together. Many see this as a picture of modern political systems, powerful militarily and technologically, yet internally fractured, divided by ideology, culture, and identity. A nation can look strong on the outside while rotting on the inside. History shows us that internal decay often destroys empires faster than external enemies ever could. Now consider this sobering possibility. America may appear in prophecy not as a conqueror, but as a cautionary tale. A nation blessed beyond measure, yet divided against itself. A nation with unparalleled freedom, yet drifting from its moral and spiritual foundations. Scripture is clear. Judgment begins in the house that once knew truth. When a nation that once honored God turns away, the consequences are not small. They are seismic. And this brings us to the most unsettling thought of all. What if America's role in end times prophecy is to disappear, not physically erased from the map, but absorbed into a global system that no longer recognizes national identity? Revelation speaks of a one-world economic system, where buying and selling are controlled. Borders become less important. Sovereignty fades. Allegiance shifts from nations to systems. In such a world, America doesn't need to be named because it no longer exists as an independent power. Its influence, technology, wealth, and military might be folded into something far larger, far darker. This is why Part 2 matters. Because the silence about America in prophecy may not be accidental, it may be prophetic in itself. A warning that no nation, no matter how powerful, is exempt from decline. A reminder that God's kingdom outlasts every human empire. And a call to individuals, not governments, to be spiritually awake. Prophecy is not meant to satisfy curiosity alone. It is meant to provoke readiness. If this is already making you think, now is a good time to hit like, subscribe to Eternal Signs Network, and share this video. And don't forget to comment where you rewatching from and the time you rewatching. Your voice matters here. We're building a community that doesn't just consume prophecy but wrestles with it. As we continue this series, we'll explore even deeper symbols, timelines, and warnings that most people never hear preached from pulpits or discussed in mainstream theology. Because whether America appears directly, indirectly, or disappears entirely before the final events unfold, one truth remains unshakable. The end times are not about nations alone, they are about allegiance. Who do you belong to when the systems of this world fail? That is the real prophecy America and the world doesn't want to hear. So once again, like this video, subscribe if you haven't, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and comment below with your location and the time you're watching. Stay alert. Stay grounded, and remember history is not random. The signs are eternal.